A Tin Hot Private. Here we are. The penultimate episode of our deep dive into the entire CEREBUS saga. We're at CEREBUS 15 out of 16.
Yeah.
Later Days, Finding Yahweh.
He who must not be named.
Yes, the unspeakable. This is I was, as I've been going through all these, rereading them, I was like, everyone keeps saying CEREBUS gets bad at the end. And, people will go as far as it's called, like unreadable even. And I was reading the last one before this, the Ernest Hemingway one. I was like, this is dark, sure, but it's still good.
Yeah.
This to me is pretty. This is the tipping point. This is where it gets. We're off-roading here. We're in rough territory. I'm not going to lie to you, folks.
Yes.
It stops being the filleting ends. We're taking folks to task on this one. Yeah. I'm taking folks to task.
Well, it took me a while to actually get through it because I needed to give it time. It is like we have seen the weeds of Dave Sim's world, but now we are in the true forest. We're in the thick of it, I think. It's a really interesting read.
Yeah, even I'm not going to pretend that this is like, peak CEREBUS or anything like that. I have no like I'll blow my cover now. I have no like contrarian take or anything. I think this is generally not great. But at the same time, I appreciate it existing.
Yeah.
I'm learning I get something from it. What exactly I get from it? We're going to find out.
We will see.
Let's go. All right. So I have a thesis I've been dying to get into, but I want you to hit me with your overall take from the Later Days.
This was a missing piece, I think, in the Dave Sim, like as an author and creator, because this reverberates back into every single phone book, like from this point back. Like it goes, how he dives so deep into the lore, carving it out. Like this whole train has been to get here, because like the Rick's book,
right?
That came, like you start kind of seeing what he's been laying out in the phone books before this, and it's like, I don't want to say payoff, but it's like you're finally getting to see the inside of his mind.
You're getting closer to the artist as time goes on.
Yeah.
And this world that's sort of been the backdrop to it is, I guess, a vehicle for which you can have a conversation with what's ailing old Dave Sim.
Yeah, and it is a conversation with him for sure. And like this might be this is like if Walt like didn't want to sell a product, and if he like that like imagination, like it baffles me. And you must take a god dose of acid to be able to just like think this way.
Right.
It's psychobabble for sure. And like there's like that loner-ism in here, but it's a super interesting read. You got to be a little fucked up to be interesting. And it's all, I think, like I guess one last thing that I'll say is that I do think this one felt the most like oppositional, in that when he explains stuff, it's like, I guess maybe it's because he's arguing for a lot of the pages in here.
Yeah, maybe antagonistic.
That's more of what I'm feeling.
I think toward the reader and maybe society as a whole.
Society. It feels like he's taking potshots at society with this one.
Yeah.
Like this is the lost book of fucking Dave Sim.
And to me, it's very much so dominated by these chunks here. The Torah deep dives, and so when I think of this book, this is all I think about. But it's ultimately not that big of a chunk of it. It just takes a very, very, very long time to read this very,
Oh yeah.
very, very fine print,
Oh yeah.
and it's like just I don't know, a huge speed bump of sorts the in really the whole the CEREBUS narrative as a whole, but in the book itself,
Yeah.
for sure, it's goes slow as molasses to read through it. But my grand thesis, because I've gone through this book before, of course, I'm on my reread of it. This is the White Album.
Okay.
And I say that with all disrespect because I fucking
I like that. Yeah.
I hate the White Album. The White Album is not the White Album.
Yeah.
It's not. It is not the White Album. It's self-titled from the Beatles, and I think in more accurate terms, it's untitled, and it's not really an album.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a double LP. I think even on digital formats, it's a double CD. A sprawling mess. It is a huge. It is a collection of music performed by the Beatles.
It really was. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
It's not songs,
and I like the Beatles, man, but that I agree with you 100%.
It is so indulgent. It is. I mean, the comparison to CEREBUS aside, it is a band that no one can tell shit to. They're too big.
Yeah.
To say anything to. Maybe CEREBUS at this point was too small for anyone to say anything to. But there's horseshoe theory, right? You could be this big, giant cultural phenomenon, or you can be a small workhorse chugging away in your own realm. And either way, no one can tell you shit.
It's so fucking true. Yeah.
And so I find about
the spawn of it all too.
Of course, yeah. And so the White Album. I can go track by track if you like. I don't want to really burden people down. But it opens up with a terrible song, Back in the USSR, which is a very familiar song, though, right? And likewise, early on, you have this very kind of familiar story, right? It's CEREBUS post-Jakar breakup. He's a sheep farmer. It's comedy. It's good cartooning. It is objectively a comic book, and it is centered on the character CEREBUS, which you might say, well, yeah, duh. That's what you get.
It might not be that easy, guys.
When you crack open a CEREBUS comic book, but don't take that for granted.
No. Oh, no. It's going to take a left turn.
So here's Back in the USSR. It goes on to Dear Prudence, which is a good song, but just kind of boring and played out. And that's kind of, if you think of CEREBUS playing this.
This caught me by surprise. Not to cut you off. I just
wanna... Coffee Anon. This is Palais on Kofi Anon. I don't understand it exactly.
The back matter didn't make things easier either.
He explained it, but not in a way that is any way connecting to me. You got Bob and Doug McKenzie, of course, and things chug along, and this is as good as it gets, folks. This is the most satisfying you're going to get. If you want to know what happens in the life of CEREBUS, it's done with right about now. And if we're to go on with that, what we got here with these Torah studies, which is I think I got it cut off here. This run here, this here. Wow. Right here, this little bit here. This is revolution number 9. This is horseshit. This is unreadable.
Yeah, agreed.
This is unlistenable. Maybe, you could, whatever it is, if you buy a fucking Beatles record and it has a fucking 20th century composer Stockhausen Xenakis rip on it, that's not why you buy a fucking Beatles record.
No.
Like this is not a fucking comic.
Look at this. I even have this because I had this tabbed. Yeah.
So I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I just want to say this chunk, which in my mind dominates the issue, and to me, when I want to really point out how contemptuous the fucking Beatles were of their fans, this is the shit that I think about. It's revolution number 9. It's not giving a single fuck. And hey, listen, it closes out with a Ringo song. The last of it is like a lullaby, and so it does end with real comic books. Why that record wouldn't end with Revolution #9 logically? It's because they didn't fucking care about it.
Think about
they
it.
didn't care.
Yeah.
It ends with the stupid Ringo song. Speaking
Right
of,
here.
and you know, I am. This is where I'm really. If I didn't lose him now, if I didn't lose him before, I'm gonna lose him now. The Beatles' sole job, okay, just to say Paul McCartney, John Lennon. All they had to do was contain the fucking demonic entity that is George Harrison. Bully him. Don't let him write a song because he fucking sucks. And what do they let him do on the fucking White Album that is not a? They let them write long. They let that hack. Who later goes on to write a triple LP with not one good song on it. They even let him, they broke their one rule, which was just to contain this force for mediocrity that is George Harrison. And they let him write a song. That's how little they cared. I don't know exactly what that song is on here. I'm going to stop with my White Album comparisons. But the point being, this is bloated.
Yeah.
It's indulgent. And I think it's a little contemptuous of its audience. But White Album has some of their best fucking songs. Julia, amazing fucking track. Helter Skelter, of course. I like Your Blues. I don't know if it's a kind of anti-Beatles track.
Your Blues?
Your Blues, yeah.
Yeah. That one is like more like organic. The more organic song on that album.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's a little too blues rocky or whatever, but it's still
coherent.
Yeah, you don't want me to put down a song because you're so lonely.
I mean, that riff is way sicker than
insane.
Fucking what's the one that people like? I know Helter Skelter fucking
Obla Di Obla Da is on there. Jesus Christ.
Whoa, yeah.
Just put a fucking bullet in my head.
But where's the Obla Di Obla Da here?
Look, it's not... I'm not trying to go as one for one. We're talking thematically. The White Album has, I would say, probably like the 1/3 of the White Album that is actually songs and is actually good, because it's divided between not songs and not good. A few songs like Glass Onion is not a song, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's just like it's like a flirtation of an idea of a song. It's just not fleshed out.
Is that the one where they kind of go Pink Floyd style?
And that's the one where it's like, you talk about the walrus and me, man. It's like a good melody. It's just not a complete song. I mean, there's other songs that are complete that are annoying. So there's not songs not good. Our songs are good. Our songs are really bad.
Yeah.
And our bad are not songs.
They kind of went so, and I don't know, man. That does feel like a drug album, but not like.
It's just a fucking fame album. It's just it's high on your own supply. In my lifetime, it was Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 from Guns N' Roses. That was my White Album in that sense. I'm sure there's probably some Prince albums that you could point to. And it's not Sign of the Times. Don't fucking come at me with that nonsense. I'm talking the 90s, like deep albums where it's like, okay, you're just you're fucking Prince. No one can tell you shit.
He's just in the recording, right?
You know what's really insulting about the White Album? Fucking Blonde on Blonde had come out. They knew, which had like shown people how to write a double album. I think Blonde on Blonde is fucking, that's other than the first song, I don't know why the fuck in the world Blonde on Blonde starts with that Everybody Must Get Stoned track. It doesn't even have the dignity of calling itself the title. It's like, it has some stupid name. It's like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 72. Some fucking nonsense like that. Terrible fucking song. Terrible way to start the album. But everything every critic has ever said about Blonde on Blonde being a masterpiece, I'm lockstep with it. That's a fucking amazing record. And obviously the Beatles fucking sucked the dick of Bob Dylan.
Of course.
So they fucking knew the blueprint was there. If they wanted to write a good fucking double album, just do Blonde on Blonde. Couldn't be arsed. Couldn't be arsed.
I mean, the Brits, it's that eternal, I mean, that's such a, like, there's an argument of the lost in translation of what's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Revolution 1 is good.
Revolution 1
That's
is still
walk about revolution.
I mean, yeah. Anthology though,
Sexy Sadie's good. There's a lot of good songs on there.
There are great songs, but like Anthology is a better, maybe more of like a meta put together sort of B-sides album.
Yeah.
Whereas this feels like an intentional, we're putting out our B-sides.
All B-sides.
Yeah.
And it's like one of their defining records.
It's like, it is an anti, but I don't really know the lore behind the production of it. So were they anti themselves?
I don't care what the fuck they say.
Yeah,
they put out a record without a cover.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
They didn't come up with a title.
Yeah, come on,
no
man.
matter what you fucking try to tell me, you can't say that was like a cohesive fucking.
That's trying to out art like actual artists in a way.
I know, and it's such. I'm not giving them anything other than the fact that it has some of their best fucking songs. And this has great Dave Sim stuff again.
It does.
Great cartooning. We're starting off really strong here.
Yeah.
Even this idea, he's like decided he's going to get the CEREBUS to just fucking kill him. Like he doesn't care. He's so over life. He's distraught. He's with Jakar. And essentially these guys, he gets deep into this Three Stooges bit.
Yeah.
Who are like the three wise men, right? And it's a kind of take on them. Moshi, Loshi, and someone else.
And the Q, the Q. It has to do with Quran, I think.
Well, look, they're doing again. This is Helter Skelter. This is some great cartooning, great faces, conveying slapstick. He gets into that in the back matter, and as far as like how he came about conveying it, these expressions are awesome.
They're so good.
This is some of his best cartooning. This is, this is the Sexy Sadie chunk of it. This is Julia. This is beautiful, beautiful song.
There's little bits of good in here, like the passion, I guess.
For sure. No, this is like and in a way, I feel like CEREBUS could have been. It was unsustainable because it was just one guy fucking sitting at a desk.
Yeah.
Losing readers month to month after some point, so it was unsustainable in that regard.
Yeah.
But this idea that whatever caught Dave's interest, whether it was these 20th century authors or whether it was, this Bible stuff, it could have essentially gone on forever and stayed interesting because it wasn't bound to a specific narrative or wrapping up a story. There's this background of this world, the ongoings of Astarcion. But from a writing perspective and from the artist perspective, he had free reign to do whatever he wanted and talk about whatever he wanted. And in a sense, I think that 300 issue cap that he put on this, which obviously it's an amazing accomplishment, but I think this is where it hurts him. And right around here to me is where it just gets a little, he's playing with pacing. Yeah. And he's agonizing the fucking reader. And it serves double, to convey that CEREBUS has been locked up for this long time. But basically this book of Rick that he accidentally wrote is kind of turned into a cult. The cult has him cooped up, and they're supposed to read this book to him, and he's supposed to answer them properly what they want to hear. And it's, a funny idea. It's a good premise. It honors the book all the way, but it's amazing to look at. It's fucking boring to read.
It is boring.
It's boring because it's just stretched out. I know he's playing with pacing, and I know that's kind of the point right here, is that it's agonizingly drawn out. But it's like, how fucking drawn out does it get? Again, it's a little bit of contempt for audience.
I love this panel for some reason.
Yeah, is this? Oh no, this isn't the rabbi one.
Not Rabbi Man yet.
Yeah. So, again, he's conveying that CEREBUS is, being held captive here.
Yeah, this fucking shit
sucks to look at, sucks to read.
And you better believe, dude, we gave you your due, man. We read this.
It's I think that is the hack here. Yeah, these guys here. If you want to power through it, you can just read the sort of
Right here.
summaries that happen right there.
And the back matter, on the annotations, I think they helped a lot.
Yes.
They help a lot with this.
Yeah, and like again, you're what? This is obla-di obla-da. This is my hell. I was locked in this fucking.
This part was kind of nuts.
Yeah, you're kind of showing the seasons changing and time passing, and he's still locked up. We're still stretching this out. We're still trying to figure out like what he needs to say. Again, I understand the pacing. I understand like the kind of experimental, if you will, nature of it.
Does he say? Is this the part where he kind of? No, it comes up. I think the production wise, he kind of takes a step back after going hard on this part.
Yeah. And yeah,
this part's so fucking fun.
Right. He's been reading these rabbi comics from which is sort of his version of Preacher.
Okay.
And it's just like a kind of, I guess Preacher would kind of be the comic that CEREBUS likes.
I mean,
and I think Dave Sim doesn't have much respect for it as a comic.
It fits his MO, I would say.
At the time, we're in the late 90s here, so post speculator bubble bursting. Like Preacher was probably one of the comics with the most eyes on it. And if I'm Dave Sim and I'm reading Preacher, I'm not a big Preacher guy. But if I'm reading Preacher, I'm gonna maybe want to take some jabs myself because it's not particularly a good comic.
One thing I didn't bring up was that I felt that there's jabs that he's taking at people, but they're also like, oh, these are people in the trenches with me.
Right. Yeah, and they're not like necessarily. He's not worried about what's going on. There was something complicated about this one that's explained in the. He wanted this is like I think I don't know what they call it over in Israel, but like one of the founding presidents of Israel, but as portrayed by the Guardians of Oa in the Green Lantern comics. I forgot what they call. I think they're just called the Guardians or something. Anyways,
the Judgment or some shit like that.
Those guys that give the Green Lantern powers away. Anyways, this is like a mashup of those, which is like the fuck is gonna understand what you're in your own zone there, brother.
Yeah.
And he's having these like rabbi delusions. And
cool. Why'd he go in on that one, man? That's insane.
That's an iconic. I know that's like an iconic comics cover, but I'm like spacing on what it is right now. Might be like a Spirit or something. But again, I'm drawing a blank. He gets into it.
There's so much. There's so much packed in here.
Fucking going.
Yeah.
It's again, I don't think a great reading experience.
Gerhard, however, showing up.
From a craft perspective, it's all there. Yeah. From an experimental perspective, it's intriguing, but that doesn't make it any more fun to actually read.
No.
And I think even after they let him go, he like gets lost in this in the
broke his leg.
Yes.
And is hobbling around.
He's in the basement, right?
And it's a recreation of. Did you get that vibe that it's a recreation of like the bar or something like that?
Oh, the bottom. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
There's some passage in here where while he's walking through it, he kind of remembers.
This is why don't we do it on a road, not a song. Not a song.
Look at this. I mean, for me, I'm loving I'm a big ass fan of his lettering.
For sure. And like form, experimentation, I got it. Yeah. It's not fun to fucking read this stuff.
This was crazy, dude.
This is someone who's bored. You're bored of you've proven everything you need to prove.
Yeah.
You are now just doing stuff to entertain yourself, which is fine.
Look at why are you like the movement of this body, like all this crazy shit.
Yeah, no, he's not tried less, and this is an interesting story in the sense of like while they're in that cathedral, like the Cyrenists are getting overturned. The Cyrenists in the background are like
Yeah.
kind of the main thrust of the story or of the saga of Cerebus is like once the Cyrenists take over,
Yeah.
the whole world changes, and everything that's done in the comic kind of revolves around their rule, and they are sort of undone off screen. And then our hero,
Oh man, I love
old
this.
Todd McFarlane, shows up with the Miracle Man jersey. I think in the back monitor they say it's like stands for the M is for Mark McGuire because he was buying all these fucking baseballs
Holy
at the
shit,
time.
that's hilarious.
So
are you fucking kidding me,
you have
dude?
to be so goddamn committed to this nonsense to understand these bits they're doing. But they got his speech pattern down perfectly. On the fourth hand, certain you can read it. That was a spoke of brilliance, but only if our guns was used to punch a hole in the Cyrenius lines in the south. He's got this like
that's Canadian Hicks kind of shit.
Yeah, working man's. Yeah, is that? Yeah, McGuire.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
Again, it's.
And this guy the his like assistant for that era?
Yeah, like but not that anyone would know who that is. So I don't know why he's being so mean to this guy that no one knows
really
about.
is talking so much shit on him.
I know, but they are friends.
Yeah.
It's the very Canadian kind of thing.
Right.
And of course, CEREBUS is trying to get this shirt that's very intimidating, like two teeth clawing, and he ends up looking like Charlie Brown. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly.
And again, this is the good chunks of the White Album. They do have good songs on there. These are all good parts. We dig it. So the only thing from the Book of Rick that anyone knows is CEREBUS' feet ascending. So that's like kind of why he is able to be anonymous in a way, and how they show, I don't know, the miracles he performed. This comes up in the last book too. Like this that little symbol,
the little emblem.
Symbol. Looks like some Quentin Tarantino shit, if you know what I'm saying. But we're keeping it moving. So yeah, CEREBUS is kind of as this exalted figure from the Book of Rick. He's sort of commanding, in a way, these people from behind the trenches, and to get him motivated, he eventually takes on
this part's fucking awesome.
Hacks off these heads from these corpses
to get them down.
Jesus,
it's so dark, man.
It's morbid, man. But
it's really dark.
Works on the chains. He's building towards something here. Such good, like, I don't know, cartooning.
He definitely loves Todd McFarlane. He put him in his comic. He put his character, like, CEREBUS is putting on the costume of having to do a fucking Spawn bit.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, knowing how this dude is, he's saying that if he had to do that, if he had to talk to the public how Todd talks to the public, he would tell them, fucking, dude, leave your like lame ass fucking family fantasy and fucking, like live your fucking power. Like
going back to the church and state thing of chucking the baby, he's like really about to yeet this fool.
That one.
This is a yeet all the way. And everyone's yeeting.
Everyone's basically, they're dropping off the kids, waiting, and they're gonna go get the wives or something like that.
Right. And this is sort of come on, this is so cool. And it's like, I guess, I don't know, you'll see there's a lot of like Image Comics parodies at this time.
Yeah.
Or I guess actually this is probably late to the party to take jabs at early Image stuff. But I think Sim was like such a reader that like he wasn't like, I don't think he saw the Image stuff as like, oh well, this is a degradation of the good superhero comics that are coming out. Like he's like, yeah, this is all garbage. Like, there's nothing more respectable about anything that the majors are publishing. Like, I don't need to look down my nose at the Image stuff. If anything, he sees like, I don't know, something respectable about the economics of it. And he, of course, engages by writing for that issue of
He
Spawn.
does some Spawn, and
Yeah.
doesn't he do some other like random work for him here and there?
Well, for Todd, I could
Yeah.
see that. I only know about that one major issue where CEREBUS appears in. But either way, I think there was maybe a respect for the Image stuff and Todd McFarlane's Empire that I don't know. Maybe he didn't. A Gary Groth wouldn't have. You know,
Yeah, there you go.
Someone in the indie scene would not kind of have any sort of reverence or even care or know what was going on. Whereas I think Dave was comfortable enough being like, yeah, I'll incorporate it. I talked about Moon Knight in the '80s. I'm going to talk about Spawn now. It's fun comic. He even says it in one of his books. He's like, I know comic readers want comic references, so if I put in references to comics, they're going to enjoy it. This is weird.
Why did he put?
That's Julie
Chester Brown.
No, it's like Julie. Is it Julie Dawson? It's.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he gets into who all these people are in the comics, and it is.
But why?
It's weird.
I remember that comic.
He says he liked. So. Okay. I already read the back matter quite a few times. Essentially, at this point, where Cyrenism is done, we're in what he, I think, refers to as democratic fascism, where people can, or democratic totalitarianism, maybe, where people can kind of vote in a sense, but in these kind of really fascistic ways. So this character, Bitchy Bitch, that was like a underground comic. The men essentially get to vote on who are angels and who are vipers and who are women only. And all the vipers and scorpions, of course, are executed, which is morbid, but they're all kind of voted on. So here's our Bitchy Bitch character, that's the name of the character.
Like all pointing at her. Too.
Yeah, they're immediately outing her.
Oh, there's this one too. That's a reference to some shit.
And I forgot who this character was, but I think she's spared. She's just a nervous wreck or something like that.
Yeah, they say something about it.
And geez, I'm gonna have to read in the. I even have it dog-eared. I don't know. I had to read it in the back a million times, but this character is Doreen Coogan, something like that.
Diane Coogan or some shit?
She was, I guess, a very anti-Dave Sim person and kind of leading the charge on his weird fucking sexism. Which Dave would say, what do you mean? Yes. Yeah. What do you mean? And she was kind of like, he doesn't execute, showing a degree of decorum. He doesn't end up executing her. They kind of come to a standstill and they can't quite vote her out. But
don't they just like they literally are trying to get back at people just by labeling them, right?
Yeah,
they were labeled.
Yeah, it's just sort of like let's just weed out. Let's make a better society. There's girls we like, there's girls we don't, and we're just going to vote on executing them. And essentially, after he enacts his perfect society, he realizes he can break down the Spawn costume. And
this just reading through this section, I don't know why this whole moment fucking hit.
It's interesting, right? He can undo.
It's so crazy, yeah.
The costume, and he can. Of course, he's realizing the makeup is a little more permanent than he'd like. Then he ends up covering his face, and this is just a funny bit. This motion or whoever he is,
Curly or whatever.
Sure, let's just say Curly from the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
he's the illustrator of all this. Of course, he always portrays himself as this gorgeous guy, and he's bringing out the Frazetta chicks. We're doing. So the way he's kind of dictating everyone what they got to do, right?
I was going to see if you saw the Hitler right there.
Oh, geez. All right. Why not?
There's also, I thought there was a Rick in here somewhere, or what's the Stephen Bissett? Is that the guy that he had on the Hemingway?
Oh yeah.
Somewhere around here.
So
He's just making jokes for his buddies, I think.
Right. And he's, CEREBUS is up on his pulpit kind of dictating what should go down. And yeah, essentially he gets to this point where he's like, here's what's going to happen. All the men, you just build houses for women. The women,
yeah,
you get to live in the houses. And, you don't have to live with the men. If you want to, you can. Oh, yeah, he's, of course, how do you build a perfect society? Execute all the lawyers and tax guys and everything, of course. And kind of gets to this point where, it's a placid life. Gets really into bird watching.
Yeah.
You're seeing CEREBUS get old. They're definitely aging him up, right? Beautiful backgrounds. And he's still a little bit of a pervert because he's watching the modeling of Curly's drawings. We'll call him Curly. And this, I guess, is like an old Canadian.
This part was wild.
This is like their Declaration of Independence, guys. But of course, who knows what the hell Canada has going on?
Playboy,
Michelin Man, all the.
I have a point on the Playboy thing for later.
Okay. But yeah, and then kind of takes a sharp turn, and we're getting into the actual Three Stooges bios because I guess Curly fell on. Does anyone care? Curly had got put in a bad way early on, and he was swapped out with the Shep. Yeah, and basically as Mo is the Mike Love of the Stooges, where he can kind of swap different people out and sort of have very little regard for their well-being, and of course that they get in fights over the years, letters, rights, ownership, etc. And
yes, we even do catch up with the fucking three scribes, or it's insane.
The three wise guys.
The three wise guys.
And
I just like the fart joke and the fucking
Charlie Brown. Yeah, we're getting back to the sheep herding, which he knows a lot about. Now we're getting.
This was so sick.
Yes, and these are all kind of takes on like classic Superman stories. Or covers. Yeah. And I don't know. It's basically CEREBUS gets really into it, and then I love this bit right here. He's super obsessed with this character, and writing everything there is about it. And then he reads this article that's Innocent, kind of saying that the Rabbi comics were published in a way to it's a psyop, in a way to manipulate CEREBUS into doing.
Wow. Oh yeah.
And so
I just noticed this though.
Yeah, of course it's like and there's digs at these guys because it's Dave Sim. He's got to take his digs.
There's Palestine. I remember the joke. Palestine. Dan DeCarlo. Los Bros DeCarlo. I mean, Dave, man, you are speaking our language, dude.
Yes, he's shooting fires. But this realization that these comics were sort of written to give point CEREBUS in a certain direction, kind of gives him a mental breakdown for a little bit. And this begins, everyone who's heard about the rough times in CEREBUS, the rough patch that it hits. We are in that rough patch.
This took the most of my time.
Yes, all that stuff up till now is pretty fun stuff. Yeah. Again, I think there's some pacing issues, some form issues. I could take some jabs at it, but essentially, cool. CEREBUS is getting deep into the Torah. This Woody Allen type is his stand-in for I don't know. He's supposed to be taking notes, right?
Yeah, he's like not a scribe, but he's like he goes on in the moment, tells him like, "Do you want me to write everything you do down like a
stenographer?"
There you go.
Yes, and you're also getting this Woody Allen type journal. And it's sort of set up to be a dichotomy, whether they want it to or not. He's reading like Freud and Jung and all this philosophical stuff, and the divide is sort of between these Torah interpretations, which is, I guess, if you want to call it like the sacred and the profane, this dichotomy. So, in a way, you're seeing CEREBUS kind of like devouring what is posed as like proper wisdom, right? Yeah. And you're seeing, and CEREBUS is calmly kind of recounting this and figuring it out. And this Woody Allen type is, suffering under the way of secular world. And as the pretty much the duration of the comic is illustrating this dichotomy between the two. And these Torah interpretations, they're not fun to read.
This was just, oh man.
The main thrust that I can say, if I were to try to describe this huge fucking run here with walls and walls of text as succinctly as possible, if I could kind of summarize the main thrust of this, or what makes his Torah interpretations differ from conventional Old Testament interpretations, is that God, there is a God, and originally in the Old text there is Yahweh, which is written out as YWHW or YHWH.
Yeah.
Yahweh, and it's written out like that, but it is essentially unpronounceable, right?
Yes.
Through the translations and everything, it's got turned into like Jehovah, which is where Jehovah's Witnesses come from.
And then the vowels, they really don't know what vowels go in there.
Exactly.
Like
I mean, so, and Jah from,
yeah,
that's short for Jehovah. It all comes from this Yahweh. Sim's proposition is that God is God and Yahweh is the spirit of God, or this sort of splinter off. And if you're reading the Bible, if you're reading the Torah, the Old Testament, you can kind of see that the things that Yahweh says, which he refers to him as Yuhu in here, which is as valid in texting. It's funny, right?
It's just
but it is supposed to be unpronounceable, right? So that this unpronounceable spirit is not God. God is the good guy. Yahweh is this vindictive spirit
trickster
of God that is trying to merge back with God. And in its own context, that's fine. And other people I feel like that's not David isn't the first or only person to come up with that. But I think that is a very uncommon interpretation, but it is not totally without precedent. However, in the context of Dave Sim, the creator and the person, having a strong stance against what he would call permanent merging, which is to say marriage between a man and a woman, it's hard not to look at this Yahweh, Yuhu, however you want to call it, as this bitch.
And think, it's like living in opposition, almost frames like the Yahweh God as like the woman, the just like
the nagging bitch,
the
that
sandbags,
wants to tear God down. And God is, of course,
the true God was like
God is infallible and omnipotent, and it's
makes the separation, like goes on for passages on describing what God is. And the waxing of like having to explain of like the entity in opposition of everything, like, dude.
And I don't know why I really like this part, but he goes into detail about how he wanted the subtitles to be like basically unreadable, because if you look at there's like a Louis Spoonwell VHS I was watching like maybe around the same time I was reading this a long time ago, and I was like, I couldn't fucking see what was said because it's black and white, and those old subtitles are like
not good,
blown out and don't have borders on them, depending on which subtitle version you get. So small detail, but I really appreciate the unreadable. Why? It's such a waste of time and effort and energy.
The art, I think Dave Sim he's obviously very passionate about this,
right?
And it's getting him to draw. This isn't going to be featured on anyone's like publishing fucking portfolio, other than these guys.
And I love that Dave can talk about the stuff he's interested in,
right?
But when I was saying earlier that the 300 issue thing is like not serving him in a way, it's because of this format of his interpretation of the Torah. I think there's some meat to the bones. I think it's interesting. I like reading it. This is a horrible format. It's way too fucking small to read.
Yeah.
These are like non sequitur images that tie in with it, and it would. I mean, I guess I'm just not a great reader or whatever, but like I would benefit greatly from seeing like family trees or like when they get into the so and so begat so and so begat so and so.
Yeah.
Like
the Abraham shit.
I was talking to my girlfriend about this, like how frustrating this is to read, and she was like, "Well, how would you format it? If you were to have this interpretation stuff and then a visual accompaniment." And I swear to God, the thing that hit me the best was like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like, here's the illustration, here's the text. Here's the illustration, here's the text. Make it fucking readable.
Big. Yeah.
Why? It's so dense. And this is what happens when you have too much to say in too short of a time. You've all tried to write a fucking paragraph on a sticky note, and you get to the end and you start curving around. You
add to it in like whichever space. Yeah,
I'm sorry. And I'm not even going to say, "Oh, how dare you talk about the Bible? No one wants to read this shit." It's true. It's fucking true. This is not interesting to me. Dave Sim is very interesting to me. Whatever he's thinking, I like learning about it.
Yeah.
His passion shines through. It is possible. Why you don't need someone talking to this writer guy like a transcript. It's just a bad way of communicating this idea.
Yeah, this setup is strange.
Is your fucking sticky note with it going all the way around and curving. And whatever they have going on with this Woody Allen guy, it's really not particularly interesting.
It's just meandering. Like, I think he is showing you with the Woody Allen stuff, because I wanted to make sure I was not getting like a different understanding of it. I think he's using Woody Allen as like the anti-version of who he wanted to be or something.
Or like an omega secular.
There you go.
Like a complete atheist.
Yeah.
Who's like but academic, it's not like a working
smart
man
guy.
or something. But
overly intellectual, like fucking says sodium chloride instead of salt.
Yeah, just a nebbish, classically neurotic,
Yeah.
And essentially suffering under all of this. Now, the secular world is failing this Königsberg, his Woody Allen stand-in, and I can only take that to kind of be Sim saying that that this mindset has failed the Woody Allen, like you can take this opinion one way or the other, but my take is that CEREBUS is saying Woody Allen and all these fucking academics need to find God.
I think so. I think in a roundabout way, he's saying like the antidote to like the human suffering, which in his eyes is being with
philosophy, academia,
is going that route. And I think it goes on a little further with the Jungian stuff.
It is too late. I have already portrayed myself as the stoic aardvark and you as the jester man.
Right.
This is like,
like I got you.
The Chad CEREBUS and the virgin Woody Allen.
This part was nuts.
Yeah,
man.
What Woody Allen movie is it from? Sleepers. That's right.
This shit's crazy, man.
I don't know. I don't have like a deep Woody Allen knowledge. I love his movies though, so like I know. Yeah. But I can't be like this classic.
I mean, he goes into his
I know the staples,
of his deep cuts and stuff. He just goes into this fucking.
Come on,
oh my god, dude!
Don't do this in a comment. Don't do this. Like, it's not what you're trying to do. I'm not even saying don't fucking reinterpret the Bible, or I'm not saying shut up and draw the Conan parody. But what do I say? It's the White Album. You get a fucking Beatles record. Oh, I want to hold your hand. Let's catch up with them. Number nine. This is fucking number 9. This is gibberish. This is not the fucking thing you signed up for. Not because it's like not, CEREBUS is funny and he's getting into hijinks with, Red Sophia and, the bug and all
The
that.
good old days.
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying this is not a fucking comic book.
No,
this
man.
is not a format. And this format of like dialogue is not serving this idea you're on. And it's not like physically pleasurable to read text this small.
It's anti-comic a little bit in being comics still. It's anti-comics.
And it's
But this is when he kind of tunes back a little bit, right?
I've tried really hard to. If this is tuning back, we're fucked.
Well, here, like, no, this next part is jacked. I think for him, his own thoughts or something, he needed to add some fun with this.
I suppose, and yeah, it's like a film thing. It's
again,
so this is a guy bored with fucking comics.
I think he is kind of like trying. He's sticking with his goal. This was so funny to me. Like he goes in on all these other frames, but when he's referencing her,
Mia Farrow, right?
Or Diane Keaton.
Oh, that's right,
like that.
Diane Keaton.
I don't think he likes Diane Keaton, and I really think he was bummed on.
Yeah, because I guess she had a thing with Woody, and then she went with Warren Beatty on his next movie.
Right.
Whatever. This is weird. I don't like this.
What was this part? Yeah, what's all this?
So we have the earlier again. So we're again. I know it's hard after reading these fucking walls of text to try to comprehend that there's a
story
comic
here.
book going on here, but it's funny. Whatever. So in the context of the Viper women and the angels, right?
Yeah.
This is I think like Screwball Park, where they sanction off the pretty girls who they want to execute, but they're too good looking.
Yeah.
And so they just segregate them like in a zoo, which I'll let you take from that what you feel however you want to feel about that. But it is him like we're drawing, celebrity girls at the time.
Jennifer Hudson?
Yeah, that has to be Zoe.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
the chick from Chasing Amy, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be who is that gal from? Geez, I'm like having Entertainment Weekly flashbacks.
Yeah, that era is insane. It's 2000-esque era.
Yeah, and so these are all the girls they've.
The girlies.
Yeah, all the girls that were too hot to murder. Jesus Christ.
It's so fucking weird, man.
It makes me feel
so weird.
Take a bath after that one.
Yeah,
folks.
Dude.
And here's our.
We're back.
And yeah, this again, I'm not going to acknowledge. We've already done our bit over the text.
This is us at this moment.
And this is based off a Playboy artist, right?
Yes. So the Jack Davis, I think, is who he's referencing.
Okay.
And I think if Dave Sim in another life, if he was able to do Playboy comics, this was fucking awesome. Dude.
Yeah,
I love that shit. This is comics.
He transforms into the Robert Crumb.
Dude, but Gerhard, what the fuck, man?
A man putting down some. Well, when you fucking don't have to do anything for 3 issues.
True.
It's like you got some time.
Yeah, this is the Jungian like halfway Crumb, half he gets into the mouse again. He's going back into these themes of like, look, they're right in front of your face, and this is how I see it, like the flaws of man. This art kid stuff is awesome to me though. I love The Seventh Seal, dude. That movie is such a corny ass movie. But there's
a reason the visuals are like, embedded in culture.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you which movies they're all pulled from. I think it's
is that Casino?
Largely Fellini films.
Fellini, okay, yeah.
But I'm not going to pretend to be such a scholar that I could point out which is
What's the one the number 9? Like, doesn't he have that?
Yeah, 9.5.
9.5.
Right.
Yeah. That was Seventh Seal for sure. There's a mix of 4 movies here.
Yeah, it's and I guess it's because Woody Allen wanted to be one of those kind of guys. So I don't know. It's a fucking convoluted.
Yeah, this part.
So cool.
That's
great art. I'm not reading any of this shit. I've never been able to finish it. You got through all of it?
Dude, I read it. Oh, I thought you read it. Oh, fuck.
I tapped out eventually.
Dude.
I did what I could.
I read so not that I retained much of it because it goes on and on. It's the same thing over.
Yeah.
But it is just harping in opposition. It's basically saying like, yeah, you wish you were involved with all these kind of like, he's making fun of Woody Allen here. Like he's like,
well, yeah.
and a little bit he's making fun of himself, I think, because I think he halfway wants to be a screenwriter.
Auteur, kind of.
I think so. And maybe he's making this phone book to me felt like at the end of it he's letting go of CEREBUS.
Right.
And he's just going, I'm putting it all down. Like I have made my bed. I'm going to sleep in it. So he's like, I'm not going to shy away from what I think CEREBUS is, who he is. It's interesting to get this far in a creator's like singular work.
Right.
It's fucking rare.
Unparalleled,
It's insane to even get here. I mean,
but Jesus Christ.
The subject matter though is like you go insane. You go insane.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm a cynical person.
Was crazy.
I guess I'm like I'm not necessarily anti-religious. I wouldn't. But there is something about the Bible specifically that tends to just crack people's brains open.
Yeah.
And I want to be respectful of everyone's beliefs and everything, but like when you're doing this doesn't seem like it's coming from a good place. No. And if it's such a prominent place in your life where you have to you're willing to torpedo your book just to kind of rant about this thing that you're interested in at the time,
Yeah,
of course,
like, obsessed to a insane degree of like needs to make sure that each and every point, each and every argument,
right,
has no like logical fallacy in it. It's crazy how hard he goes.
And it's like again, it's not that consistent. Like it's reverse engineered in the sense that like everything I don't like is Yahweh and everything I like is God. And he'll to the point where he's like, there's some shoot, I forgot the story of it, but basically there's got the one where God's like, hey, go kill your kid or whatever.
Abraham. I was gonna tell you about before this, I read a Soren Kierkegaard book. He under a pen name, he wrote about this Abraham. Honestly, in this fashion, he goes through the story over and over and over again. Point. And I love this book. That's so fucking wild.
Yeah, you don't like living in a world where Dave Simmons and South Park coexist, but
you associate
CEREBUS with such an 80s kind of thing that it's weird to see.
This is at the top of the era, too.
How could you not, though? How could you not put it in?
It goes, man.
Anyways, Kierkegaard.
The Kierkegaard, I think it's Kierkegaard, under a pen name, he wrote about the Abraham story because it broke his fucking mind. This guy was a theologian and a philosopher. So he, for things that the church thought were too out. And by the way, I'm also not religious. So this stuff is like interesting to me in the fucking like obsession these guys get over this story that like is a great story that they believe is true and they need to make sense of it.
Right.
Or like contest themselves with it. Like the Kierkegaard one, was it Soren Kierkegaard? Anyways, he just harps on these same story points that happen in the Abraham story.
Right.
Much like Dave Sim does. And you got to wonder, is that kind of religion made in that way where you just keep trying to uncover like thing after thing after thing, and then you go like Book of Enoch kind of shit, like the dark lore, you start thinking, it's just interesting to me because I take all this stuff as metaphor.
Yeah, like it's fables kind
It's
of.
fables. It's meant to tell you something, but it. I don't know. It's like an imperfect. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
weird because it's been so translated and like,
Yeah,
reworked and retooled over the years that it's like to take it as word of God is um, really hard to do if
yeah,
you understand the history of how. I mean, it's something that's published. Like
yeah.
at the same time, something doesn't last that long and have that kind of place, even from a secular perspective. If you're not believing that it's the word of God, like it doesn't last and have such a prominent place in culture unless there's some kind of value to
Yeah.
it. It's hey, I'll keep going back to the Beatles. It's like they're not necessarily they're not they're not my favorite band, and they're probably not ultimately a band that I like.
Yeah.
They have songs and everything.
The appreciation is
Yeah,
there.
but I have to reconcile with them because it's like, how can you be that big of a? How can you take up that much space in culture and just
Yeah.
say like, "Eh, they suck"? That's really
Yeah.
lazy.
It's the cheap route. It's like you're not actually like trying at all
They're
to.
lame, boring,
It's so easy to say
stupid,
that. Yeah.
and it's like I'm not arguing. Like I don't.
You
I'm
don't have a
not.
dog in the fight or whatever. Like,
I can't. It's just when you hear every artist you've ever liked, be like, yeah, we listened to the Beatles and it changed our life. It's like, well, there has to be something there.
yeah.
So it's like, why not try to engage in it, try to figure it out? You can have some
I love
broader
this part.
cultural context and everything.
Yeah.
And like, I guess the Bible's the same way, where it's like
Yeah.
every writer you've ever read that wrote anything decent has been like, yeah,
Good
we
point.
had the Bible around, and these were the stories that I was raised on, and it's like,
Isn't it trippy to listen to this shit though? Like I did not grow up in a religious
yeah,
household.
no, no,
I looked up a bunch of this stuff and he's talking about real shit
yeah.
that people worship.
And I guess my point with his interpretation of it being kind of weird is like, if when Abraham says something that Sim agrees with and likes, he's like, well, this is clearly God speaking through Abraham
Right.
to Yahweh who's saying this. And they actually switch characters here, and
Yeah.
it's like
The craziest
you're just
the jumps.
you're just doing confirmation bias, where
There
like
you go.
everything that you can fit into this narrative of God and Yahweh being separate spirits, and God having um, living metaphors that He's telling His stories through. It's like it's a little forced. Like I don't
Yeah.
necessarily buy it. Like it doesn't. There's enough uh, things that, just like I said, feel reverse engineered or
Yeah.
backwards engineered, to where I'm like, I'm not along for the ride of what you're getting at. And I can't just overlook the fact that like you've been locked up in a room
Yeah.
writing this shit for decades, and you weren't necessarily in the greatest mental headspace to begin with, and now you've done what had just happened so commonly in the world. You got the fucking Bible and it just cracked your
Yeah.
brain open.
Yeah.
And like, it's something that happens with mentally unstable people. Sorry, I don't mean to be like a mean atheist here. I don't mean to be like dismissive of an artist I find to be like in top form, but at the same time, objectively, this is a terrible means to communicate your ideas.
Yeah.
Format wise.
I didn't necessarily take away I think what he meant.
No, and I think it would be easier to kind of communicate that with a different format. The comic book is it's not a comic,
No.
and it's not like, form experimentation. This part becomes very important.
This is where
And this seals the deal. I'm back
right
in
here. Yeah, this I
Yes.
remember this was he's kind of having another like he's aging.
Yes.
He's clearly aging.
He's old as shit.
And he's seeing a different
And
person, right?
this is like a journalist of some sort who's like taking his story,
walking through the sets and stuff.
Yeah, and like, learning about the story of CEREBUS and all that in his Torah. explanations,
Yeah.
and she's just this young girl, and she's like, so, she's like, listen, just promise me that you're not. I don't remind you of Joan, who's the character from the bar, and who is like kind of been sainted in the
Rick.
book of Rick, because the book of Rick omits anything about Chaka because, of course, Rick was that was his ex, so Rick wasn't writing about it, and it kind of ends eerily because she's like, "Just promise me you're not just with me because I remind you of Joan, because I know you and Joan had a thing." He's like, "No, you don't remind me of Joan at all." And of course, she's the spitting image of Chaka, who we all know is Cerebus's, eternal flame.
Yeah.
And so it's like kind of a fucking really goddamn dark ending. And if you want to expand on that, I wasn't really thinking of this when I first read it. This seed goes someplace very bad when we get into the last day.
Okay.
This relationship, spoiler, it's
fucked.
It doesn't lead to good things.
Okay.
And it doesn't lead to good things according to Dave Sim for a few reasons. One, she's half his age, or not half, she's a quarter of his age. She's way too young for him.
Oh shit.
Two, you're not really thinking about the because you've just had your brain fucking washed through all this goddamn Torah shit. All you're thinking about is Abraham and Yosemite and Yahweh and Yuhu God and the Spirit and all this shit. So you're not thinking about this, but this world is not very kind to women.
No, in no way, sense, or form. It's like just
to say that. So this is not a relationship that's coming from that could ever be equitable. Between the age gap and the difference in the power dynamic, and just the backdrop of this world where women can kind of be executed for being, bitches ultimately, and for CEREBUS having such a high place in it, like if you don't have any of that context, it's kind of sweet, right? Because it's like you look at how much he loves Chaka.
But
go for this girl. It's
so dark,
pretty fucking dark,
and
it's pretty fucking bleak, and
that shit was crazy.
What we end on, but it's a really satisfying ending, I think.
Yeah,
closes strong. I hate this book so much.
This is probably my least favorite, and I gave it like
we all tried.
Yes. So this film stuff is so cool, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of Emperor. Okay.
He's going.
There's a lot of Emperor's New Clothes to European filmmaking. That quality of the avant-garde in all arts and entertainment, which to me always requires that I bring more of myself to bear on the proceedings than is warranted, given that I'm the one who has paid his $7 or $15 or whatever amount it is. I paid you $7 to tell me something or show me something. I didn't pay you $7 so I could provide myself with the parts of your film that are missing. Motherfucker!
So crazy.
Is the irony not lost on you?
It's so crazy, man.
I paid whatever. What is the MSRP on this? I don't know. I bought it from a fucking library.
You got it for
these were like out of print at the time, so I actually did probably have to pay a lot more than I should have for this because I wanted to keep going with the story. Motherfucker! I paid for this goddamn book of CEREBUS the Funny Aardvark.
Yeah.
And you gave me a Torah reading of all the you're this unaware of what you're doing.
My face is in my hands. The amount of irony in this one, like opposed to the other ones. The other ones I feel like were more like research informative, and like this is complete lonerism. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Like he is just in his head, in his thoughts. He is kind of like was there the one that was like about? There's one more that you had that was kind of sick. I read a bunch of wasn't it that one? But he just is kind of like giving me like he's living in opposition with people. He is like. There's
a very funny line in here. I thought I had it dog-eared.
You did,
but he was talking. Here we go. So this to get basically as I've kind of laid out before in a lot of the other. Dave could get really fixated on something, do a lot of research, and like with the Hemingway and the Fitzgerald stuff or the Oscar Wilde books, he would write in their style after kind of absorbing their works. And what he was trying to do here, this is the trajectory of his life after this, really, is finding God. This is how he finds God ultimately, or forms a genuine like spiritual path, which is in real life. It starts from him trying to do the same method of his previous works as he did with the Bible. And so he shows him going into the Bible store, and it's not really like a whole store for the Bible. I don't get it. So he goes up to the counter. He's like, "Can I get a Bible?" They're like, "Well, what do you mean a Bible? What kind of Bible?" And just that idea is like, "You mean what kind of Bible? The fucking Bible." Like if you really don't know what if you're really outside to all this, which clearly at the time he was, he's like, "What do you mean what kind of Bible?" And the clerk's like, "Well, yeah." She's like, "Well, there's like the King James Bible. It's like the gift one that you would give." And he's like, "Well, why would I?" He's like, "Okay, well, give me that one." She goes, "Yeah, but she didn't really recommend that one for actually, reading. It was more of a novelty item that you might give as a gift." And I flipped it open and I thought, "Oh yes, this is it. This is what I want to make fun of." Which I shouldn't tell her, of course. Nice lady in a Bible store. What sort of psycho do you think I am? So that was the one I bought. So he specifically buys his King James Bible because it's the most Bible-sounding Bible, and it's in that kind of old-timey speak, and that's what he wants to parody. So it's like, this is what I say when I say like vulnerable minds kind of get their hands on this stuff and it breaks their brain, because it's like, you're trying to, you literally buy this book to kind of goof on it.
Yep.
And it changes the fucking trajectory of your life.
And
you're like, oh, this is the word of God. Oh, my soul is at stake here. I have to take this very seriously.
Yo, yeah.
And then you end up, filling these fucking pages of your comic.
Man. Gene Roddenberry's in here,
which is complete fucking alienating, unreadable. I mean, unreadable not from a fucking quality perspective, but from like this weird wall of text. I don't like it. I don't know.
That's coming from someone who usually enjoys a good narrative, right?
I'm so in on. I try to be Dave Sims' strongest soldier. I try to ride for him. I'm with a lot of his ideas and a lot of the directions he's going in. If anyone would give him some slack, it would be me. But let me tell you, this shit just lost me. I kept being like, well, I'll read it and I'll read it and I'll keep reading it and I'll try to figure out like the good in it. I've tried so hard and so favorably multiple times, and this time around I'm just convinced. I'm more convinced of myself than ever. Again, I'm not the most scholarly, well-read person, but I know music and I know I know the Beatles, and once I figured out that this is the White Album, and the confidence that I have in calling bullshit on the White Album is the confidence I have in calling bullshit on Dave Sims' Torah reviews. Like, again, just from a fucking format perspective. This is not how you would want to communicate these ideas to the people.
This is barely comics.
It's not comics.
I mean,
and like, again,
we're back for a hot second,
and then we're gone. Boom. Even this I have more respect for, because at least there's like,
this flows. This is his story.
And there's lettering, so like,
then quickly we're back.
Yeah, so I don't know. My point being, I guess the takeaway for you, the reader, if you're kind of in a position where I'm at, as my final thoughts on this, where you're like, geez, I like this comic. I get to hear, what am I missing?
Yeah.
I don't think you're missing much. I don't think you're missing anything. I think you're right. If this is a wall for you that you can't get past, I think you're right.
Yes.
I think I'm right. I think we're all okay to say this is horseshit. Talk about Emperor's New Clothes. This is not a radical deconstruction of comics. No. This is bad formatting. And this is not the ideas contained herein are not effectively communicated.
The mixed metaphors and stuff, like this is some kind of like, this is almost like another transition period for Dave.
Well, it's him again, not having space to write about what he wants to write about, and probably catching, the reader's feelings, which are, I don't want to read Bible shit, which he's not wrong about,
Yeah.
And he's also in this difficult position where obviously he's not going to be accepted in Orthodox, like that Bible story he was talking about. They're not going to stock this. He's a rogue. He talks about trying to go to church and can't get past the weird cannibalism of eating, Christ's flesh and everything. And he ends up going to mosques more frequently than churches. And, he's like, as idiosyncratic as his comic work is, I think he's similarly found in his own path spiritually. And I don't, just as people didn't get on board for all of this, I don't think they really got on board with his theories and his interpretations. It's been about 20 years since this stuff was published.
Yeah.
That's a pretty, if it was going to catch on,
around,
it would probably be caught on now. If people were going to do a reassessment of his work and find that this is actually peak, it would have happened by now. It's just not good comics.
Yeah, this is too fringe.
Yeah, and
I don't love that word, but it does kind of get you there where you're like, it's oppositional, fucking contrarian,
contemptuous of your audience, for sure.
Really is anti, like, with the Todd McFarlane stuff, he's taking jabs at like the having to be like a ventriloquist for this character.
Right.
I think he says something like that in the back matter, and he's talking about how, or maybe this was an interview or something I saw, but like I said earlier, he loves Todd McFarlane, loves the Canadian creators that he came up with and that came up with him.
I mean, what a contrast, like this fucking unreadable.
And he loves Todd, but I don't think he likes Woody Allen. I think that's why I also think that.
And again, I do not feel that CEREBUS needs the subject matter itself. I'm along for the ride with all this stuff. I love the Astarcion lore. Again, I think maybe it takes a little too much glee in these like executions. I think the worldview that Dave proposes in his democratic totalitarianism is odd.
It's a little weird.
But I'm not going to be like dismissive of the comic because I don't agree with it or because I think it's, a silly notion. Like, this is still comics. If it's a good comic, it's a good comic. And when you get to the Torah stuff, it's just not the format. And I don't think CEREBUS is really the place for it. Like, it is textbook, like, too far. And this is from someone who's totally fine with you talking about Oscar Wilde for
fucking
30 issues
and a half almost. I mean,
so
I ditto with everything you're saying on this one, man.
So I don't know, my obviously you need to read it if you're along this far. It's smart putting this at like the burrito butt of the story as opposed to front loading it. I think it makes for it's more, in a way, it's like, well, I've come this far, I'm this invested, I'm going to push through it. But it's pushing through it. It's not enjoyable.
There's no, it's only stands here at this point.
Yeah.
Really.
And even if, you know what?
You don't have to be a stand. But
fucking guilt, silver lining here. It is just that chunk. You can just not read that chunk.
You really could. Just read the back matter.
Yeah. Read the back matter, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
Read the stuff about CEREBUS's life, all the comic book stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I'm being so mean about this. You don't have to read this.
I think, because we had to read it. Right. We went in. That's why you're being mean about it.
I had to suffer through it.
This
almost
one,
all of it. I didn't even finish it. You really took it. You're a better reader than me.
But I have to read. It's a problem. It's a problem.
I'm gonna get through it eventually because this is not. Listen, all the shit talking I'm doing. This is not my last time where I'm going to be reading CEREBUS.
And can I throw this out there? Can we, the next time you read any of these, or like if you go through another long form, or if we even do another long read,
yes,
like we should sit down and talk about the books and what you're seeing this time versus you know what I mean, like
rereading.
There's too much to uncover in one pass.
You're gonna get to it. This is the strangest fucking feeling because this is the most open contempt I've had for the CEREBUS book.
For sure.
I revere this book really highly, but this time around I was like, okay, I've tried. This is at least if it's not my third, it's my fourth time getting through this stuff, and I'm comfortable now just calling BS on what the chunks of it that are BS. I don't think it's above my head. I think it's just poorly done, and that's my take rereading it, but. At the end of this book, so the next one, we can spoil, what do you call it? Give people a preview. At the end of reading this, there's a strange phenomenon that I experienced, and I suspect you're going to experience it too.
Whoa.
You want to fucking start it all over again.
Really? Okay.
It's a unique saga in that regard, and it's why I've read it so many times, and I don't have any specific word for it or understanding of it, and maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe you'll read this and say, yeah, just stop at 14. It's bad after that. I don't know where you're going to be at, but...
Yeah, we'll have to see, because, I mean, the Red Sophia reference in there in Last Days really made me think, damn, do you remember the first book, the second, the third, the High Society reference in there?
It's all connected, man.
It's so, like...
He's not jettisoning any of this stuff.
He really is giving everything his due, man. I can't wait to read this one. This is a little weird because it's bittersweet. I don't connect with Dave Sim on what, his points that he makes, but I do connect with him, and like, he's one of us. He's a fucking comic book true nerd, gets hyper into anything he's into, and I empathize with that because, like, then you get something like this. We've all been there,
Yes,
we get into some weird stuff, but we don't make big ass comics out of them. And that's what makes this super interesting.
Yeah. Right? I would never put myself on this level as in mind, as an intellect, as a base of knowledge. Like the CEREBUS, the characters, CEREBUS, the book. Even I don't think I find nearly as interesting as like the mind of Dave Sim, which is why I keep trying to get into as much as I can. I mean, I've got the Conversations book. I've got the Strange Death of Alex Raymond, which is fucking incredible.
We got to check that one.
Yeah, so I don't know. You've spent enough time in this world. You're gonna feel the experience at the end of this, and I guess we'll look forward to that, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. At ease, privates.